Hey everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. In this video today, we're going to be talking about the 5 most common causes of fires and hopefully how you can prevent them. And it's coming into winter, so hang in there and we'll get right on to that. Say hey everybody. Let's talk about the 5 most common causes of house fires in winter and some prevention tips for them. Going to be a very short video. We're not going to be very long. During the holiday seasons, the fires always increase in houses. It just happens every year. There's all kinds of causes for it, but the 5 most common we're going to talk about right here. The very first and most common cause for house fires are Christmas trees in the winter. Through the holiday seasons, lights on real trees can cause unexpected fires simply because the trees dry out real fast, and if you don't keep water where the body of the tree can absorb the water to keep the needles fresh, they dry out just about overnight. While the subtle glow is both warming and beautiful, invoking happy memories, those lights can also be unsafe. So, don't matter how much reminiscence it brings you, doesn't matter how much joy it brings you, it's just not worth putting live trees in a house unless you know what you're doing. These things have to be watched extremely close. You have to be sure that your lights are the correct grade. You've got to watch these things really close. If you don't, you could set your house on fire and not only lose your life, but the life of your family. And if you do escape, you've still got the loss of your home. So be very, very careful with live trees, okay? The second thing is candles. Now, we've talked about candles here with the prepping. I've said that, you need candles, and you do need candles. It doesn't matter what kind of light source you have. Batteries can go dead. Electricity can go off. All these things can happen, and you need candles when those things take place. We've also mentioned a lot of other things, but candles is one of them. But I would encourage you, never leave a candle unattended. If you've got a candle burning in a room and you're going to leave that room, take that candle with you. Be sure all candles are blown out when you're through using them. Make sure they are completely out. A lot of people use the candle snuffers or whatever. That's fine. Whatever you use, it doesn't matter. But always be sure that your candles are completely out and don't leave them unattended. If you can get candles in a jar with a lid and use the lid when the candle is not lit, blow out the candle and immediately put the lid on the jar. This will prevent any oxygen from getting in and keep the wick from smoldering. So that's a good thing to know about your jar candles. Immediately put your lid on the jar. That traps the smoke and keeps the oxygen from getting into the candle itself. So always watch your candles. Don't set them down near windows where there might be curtains. Don't set them down where there might be drapes hanging, where there might be towels hanging, any stuff like that that's flammable. Never set a candle down around it because you never know what could cause that thing to get over into a candle. And again, never leave it unattended. Third thing is space heaters. Now these things are not commonly known probably by most people that they can cause fires, but they are a potential problem. Portable space heaters are a great thing if you work in a cold office or if you need a little extra heat once in a while. We use space heaters outside in our building. When I do my boxing out there, once we have sales and I box items to sell, I go out there to the building to do it. That's where we keep all of our boxing materials and all of our packing materials. We have a space heater in there that we use in our building. But you have to be careful with them also. A lot of them have safety devices on them. If they're knocked over, they shut off. The safety device might not work all the time. Everything that's electrical or everything that's electronic has the potential to go bad or go wrong, and things don't always work the way you plan. So here's some risk. In order to mitigate risk, make sure that it's turned off, it's completely unplugged when not in use. Don't let children play with or near a space heater, and keep the area around it clean. Don't have things sitting close to it or against it that might get hot and that are combustible. Do not plug in space heaters into power strips. They do not recommend that. Power strips are not designed to handle the high current flow needed for a space heater and can overheat and even catch fire due to the added energy flow. So I always plug it into a wall outlet. Avoid the strip heaters at all costs. Cooking, folks, don't think a whole lot about cooking, but during the holiday season, people get very distracted while they're cooking. A lot of times there's a lot of baking going on. There's a lot of cooking on stovetops going on. People will be preparing meals for huge families a lot of times. And even in today's society, I know that there's a lot of lockdowns. There's a lot of mandates. There's a lot of things going on around the country and telling you can't have more than 8 or 10 people in your home for Thanksgiving. But I know there's going to be a bunch of you out there that still has a lot of people in for Thanksgiving. And when you're cooking, you need to be doubly careful and watch things. It's real easy to walk off and leave a burner on, because I know, because I've done that. It's a very easy thing to do, and then you could get a towel in it or anything like that to create a fire. But let's read over this real quick. Most people cook year-round, but when making holiday food, there's often distractions that can lead to a problematic fire. Always double check to be sure and have turned off all burners and the oven when you're finished cooking. Never leave food cooking unattended. Just stay in the kitchen and make sure things are going the way they're supposed to be. Watch children carefully and at all times, and if are anywhere near a stove that's in use or has just been in use, kids are naturally curious and can burn themselves severely and or start a fire accidentally. Know how to properly extinguish a grease fire. Don't toss water on it, as it'll spread and likely make things worse. You can use a pan lid, but glass lids can crack and break under the extreme heat. So it's best to keep a fire extinguisher nearby any stove and learn how to use it. And we're going to do that real quick right here at the end. Chimney fires. This is coming up in our next video that we'll be posting this evening about 5:25 and 7 p.m. I mentioned this in that, and I also mentioned some things about Walmart and what's going on throughout our country with Walmart. You won't want to miss that video. A lot of interesting stuff in it anyway. Chimney fires. Regular chimney maintenance is encouraged for those with fireplaces and should be a regular part of winterizing your home. Whether you make a choice to have a professional clean it or decide to go the DIY route, it should be done before you plan on lighting that first fire. The reason being, it prevents the release of toxic gases in your home. If you are using wood that contains excessive amounts of sap, consider cleaning it twice. If you fail to do so, has been known to cause house fires and or property damage. So it's important to keep your chimneys clean. And I go a little bit more in detail on that in the next video. Right here, I wanted to pick up on this video on how to use a fire extinguisher real quick. I'm also going to drop the link to this video down here in the
and whether there is a reliable escape route
in the description box below, so you'll want to watch that. But picking up right here shows you how to basically use a fire extinguisher, how to get it up. And
Step 4.
Right here.
Remember the acronym PASS. It stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Step 5. Pull the pin or ring that unlocks the fire extinguisher's operating handle and aim the extinguisher at the base of the fire. Aim at the fire from 6 to 8 feet away. Step 6. Squeeze the extinguisher lever to discharge its contents and sweep the hose back and forth until the extinguisher is empty. Did you know? Food Network.
There you go. And always be sure that the extinguisher is full. When you look at your fire extinguisher, there will be a green mark at the top that says full. Your red line will be in that full space. And if it's not, you need to have it serviced or you need to get another one. Okay, so, hey, that's it for today on this video. Be sure to watch out for our video this evening between 5 and 7 p.m. And as always, we appreciate you watching our videos. And if you're not a subscriber, we would appreciate you subscribing. Like our video. Share it with your social network if you can. And if not, that's fine too. We still appreciate you watching us. So, until the next time, we'll see you in the next video.